Hey everyone, welcome back. So I wanted to give you a look at kind of how I'm ending the year in planners. I did spend the majority of the middle of the year in Notion. I know I've had some requests as to how that's set up. I don't know that I will actually be doing a Notion walkthrough. It's fairly convoluted, and just given my background in database design, things like that, it's actually fairly convoluted. So probably we'll just kind of keep things simple, especially as I'm trying to jump back in to planner videos again. So I figure I will stick with kind of the paper planners. This will probably be the fastest one, so we'll start with this first. This I was actually using at the beginning of 2021. I stopped in June, so I did not use it during that time. I did pick it back up towards the end of the year. If you watched my last planner video talking about the work planner and the bullet journal and when that kind of stopped, I actually started in this right about that time. I was also using a plum paper planner for personal planning for the week, but it wasn't something that could come with me, and I wanted something that would just be quick to toss in my purse. So that's how I ended up with this one here. Thankfully, still had it, so I just went ahead and jumped in, even though I've skipped like the whole middle section. Why not? So let me move this out of the way. Pretty much how I have been using it is, and I switched because I basically have it split into two columns. The left I started with as appointments, and then the right as things to do. This is just kind of mail that I'm expecting to come in. I have trackers down here for house cleaning, and then just tasks for the week. I did have a spot for errands, but actually we even whited it out here just because I don't really have that many errands. Let's be honest, I don't leave the house that much. So I figured I would just put it under tasks. At this point we went out of town, so that's why there's not too much there. And then I switched it where I put, no, I didn't switch it there. I switched it here, where this is tasks that need to happen that day, because generally I don't have that many, and then appointments on the right side. So I did flip-flop those, and I like them quite a bit better. So again, tasks, and then just cleaning routines. I bumped them up a little bit higher. And at this point, I set up for the most part through the end of the month, and that's why these are stuck together, is because I removed some stickers and the pages are still kind of sticky. I think this one had even more. Let's see if I can pull it apart. Probably need to get some talcum powder or something like that, because that'll like remove the stickiness from this. Anyway, because I did get a 2022 and switched over into that I think last weekend. So I went ahead and just decided I would start December in that month, in that book, because at this point, I mean, it's not like it matters to have December in here. It's not going to have a whole year in one book. It's like, what's the point? In the back, this is a mega, so I do have quite a few pages. I was watching, I think it's Lindsay Scribbles and her setup, and early in the year I had written stuff in pencil thinking I would do something similar, and I didn't. But I did kind of use this for daily bullet journaling here in the back. And you'll see I jumped in here into November back here, kind of with that daily bullet journal idea as well. I decided to experiment a little bit with kind of a tending list sort of idea in the back here, and so this is probably something I'll move forward into the next one. Things that I'm, know that I need to get done this month. Weekly tracking, stuff that I want to do weekly, and then things that I want to do daily. These daily items are actually going to be here, essentially. So that's kind of where I left off, and that's when I jumped forward into the next book. And I will do kind of a flip through of my setup for 2022. That will be coming up shortly. But this is another planner that I returned to. So this is a B6 Stalogy. It is one that has seen several years because I stop using it and then I start using it and then I stop and then I start. So at the beginning, I added a few things. I added a pocket here just so I can have a card, and I'll actually probably just pull this page out and put it in the one that I'm using for next year. A picture of my husband and I. And this is just on a piece of acetate. It's been floating around in quite a few planners, so it's been trimmed down. And then this is it's like a photo pocket thing. It's from, I think this is the Happy Planner mini size from Happy Planner that I just washi taped in. As you can see, I originally started using this in 2020. So I'll just kind of show you what I was doing when I originally started with this. So I had my goals, I had my word of the year. I had started doing a future log like this. I ended up not really using that so much. I did enjoy the layout of these kind of as a future log, but how I'm going to be using this going forward, it doesn't lend itself to this sort of a setup. So I think I've done a flip through of this before. Again, it would have been like early 2020. I had SM plans, I think. It was her tending list and a B6 size that I had put in. And then I was putting vellum. These are my B6 tip-ins. They're available on my store. So again, I just taped these in, just into the middle of the page. And then again, ink impressions, it was her kind of weekly page idea that I was using as this. I had routines and to do, and then after this it was just daily pages with, you know, stickers if I had room. Initially I was drawing in the week, or I'm sorry, drawing in the daily times, and it was too much of a hassle, so I have along the way stopped doing that. And the months are all kind of set up the same. In here I had some Cocoa Daisy week stickers. That was what I was using in this book, but I wasn't using the week stickers, so I put them in here. I experimented with that a little bit. This is March. This is when the world shut down. So, and this is when I just kind of started to use it for journaling. So this is pretty much when things shut down. So you'll start to see I skipped around. So March 19th, March 24th, April 15th, 16th, 17th. Went to July. I started taking notes from Heartland, I think it's Christian Church in Rockford. I think it's Illinois or Indiana. Anyway, that was where I was basically doing online church with, even though I'm traditionally Episcopalian, but the service just seemed a little strange because it's hard to be participatory by yourself. And then I jumped into September. I think this is September 2020 still. Yep. And then I stopped and I put this away. And then fast forward to autumn 2021 and I picked it back up again in October. So I did kind of back plan a little bit, I think, for the month. Again, same tip-in format. And this was like October 25th, 26th. So I went to, I think I have these, I don't know if I have this size or not. I know I have undated like Hobonichi Weeks style inserts in my Etsy store. So that's basically what this is. So instead of drawing out kind of that week page like this, I just put the dates in and then filled in the information. Then again, I have routine stuff here and to do, and then I had a sticker for what I was doing for dinner. Instead of actually drawing in times, that's very faint, but it does have the hours here on the right side. So I was using those to kind of put my schedule in. So then I did a weekly review. I have a page for a monthly review because we were at the end of the month, and then November. So, and I do have quite a bit of vinyl, so I decided I should probably start using some of it. So I started cutting some vinyl out. This I bought on Etsy, and I can't remember whose shop it is, unfortunately. But but I did manage to find it, and it was like $1, I think, for printable, and I just printed it on vellum and put it here. Again, with another tip in. I toyed with this front page being like what my theme is and kind of what my projects were for the month. A lot of this deco is from Coco Daisy. I still get her kits. I just switch around between which inserts or not inserts that I get. I will probably be blurring this out. This was kind of prayer list as far as for the Daughters of the King, kind of a list of all I had gotten a lot of emails. People were needing prayer in the month of October and November. Then notes for Station of Nativity, which actually, so today's December 5th, it just happened yesterday, and I volunteered to help select music for it and to make some changes to how they were doing the service, and it actually went over very well, I think. Another one of those Hobonichi Weeks sorts of pages, same format. We went to Cincinnati, my mom/business partner and I, for this is my first set of National Apartment Association meetings since, ironically, March 2020. So I just basically tipped in the whole schedule. Again, we had the daily pages. There wasn't too much going on, so they are fairly blank. Notes from a legislative committee meeting that was during that time. And some of these may get blurred out just because of the information. I will see what's on these pages as I am editing. So, same idea here. I was doing a schedule on the left, and then tasks on the right. And I had looked back and I found this format for kind of a bullet pointed daily journal, and I've actually picked up and really enjoy doing this. So the first one is achieved, second one is lessons, third one is thankful, and fourth one is feeling. So basically I just kind of bullet point underneath it those things. I did a short weekly review where I was just basically pulling undone tasks. Another week page. So it's kind of the same format. I just started doing this daily journal at the end of the day. And then at the end, I go back in and put stickers if I have room, just so it doesn't look so blank. I had Thanksgiving planning, so funny story, December 2020, we moved to Texas, and a week after we arrived, we turned around and drove up to Illinois. Our stuff was still in boxes, it was scattered everywhere, and I basically brought the dogs and leashes and a few things for them, and that was about it. I forgot their food, I forgot bowls, like I was so scattered. So I was like, this time I'm going to make a list of everything we need to bring so we don't do that again. So that's what this was just a list of things that I needed to remember for when we went there. Gift ideas, which will probably be blurred out just in case people watch, from my family. Some journaling on intention setting for this channel, and a website that I have been working on, Modern Home Economics. Rekindled that again. There was a Workways workshop that I took notes on, and then again back to the daily pages. Gratitude, vellum, not vellum, acetate and vinyl for Thanksgiving. These were days that were just kind of all over the place, so I didn't really put much in there. Weekly review. These ended up being blank, because about this time we drove back home, and I realized that this format was very, very similar to the Hobonichis that I have. And I actually had purchased Hobonichi in an A6 and an A5 size at the beginning of the year, in addition to the weeks. So I was trying to figure out how best to put things back together, because I don't need a ton of room. As you could see, I was just like, if you watched my last video on my work planning, you'll notice that I don't need much room for each day. So I realized I could probably just have that in an A6 size, and it would just be enough room each day for what I need. So I've decided to start using the Hobonichi A6 going forward, because I had a 2021 version that I started in at the beginning of the year for like 0.2 seconds. I went ahead and have been using that and it's worked out really well. And then I also used a Hobonichi A5 at the beginning of the year, again, for just a little bit of time. So I've gone back to using that for dailies. So this, as you can see, it was kind of empty. So I've been toying with what I want to use it for. I did set up a December with a month, and I didn't really fill in the monthly because I'd filled in, I did not want to write a monthly thing out a third time because I had it in here and I had it in the Hobonichi A5 because I switched like right at the tail end of November. So I did start with some prayer tracking, I guess is for lack of a better word. There was a lady, and I will link it down below, who has a prayer journal that I didn't really need another thing to do, another thing to use. So I thought, well, I'll just use the same categories, put them in here, and end with gratitude and praises. But then I realized it was kind of a weird setup for this, and I would like to still continue using a B6 size for journaling, probably in the morning. And so what I ended up doing, the last time I updated my Cocoa Daisy subscriptions, I added a B6 Dory to that list. So what I started doing is using this for those prayer categories. And again, I will probably blur these out. I did still have, and I don't even know if her website is still around. I printed this out like a, you know, gosh, maybe 5 or 10 years ago. It's from inspiredtoaction.com. It was praying daily for your husband, so it's just a list of things to pray for. So actually just really quick, because I will probably go back and blur these out. I'll tell you what the categories are. So there's world and nation, my community, my church, my family, sweet friends. So if you have friends that say, hey, could you please pray for me? Salvation, the heavy. So things that are weigh heavy on your heart, personal. And then I have a section for God answers. And then just in the middle, because it's lined in the middle, I have gratitude and praises. So each day something I'm thankful for. And then, you know, if something happens that I would like to add in there, I can. Now, it does have a lot of blank pages here in the back. So I may, you know, use it for something else as I, you know, come across it, but that's how I'm using it right now. All the way here in the back, I do have some notes. So I have been really struggling trying to figure out how I want to handle cleaning. So, because I've used Motivated Moms, Clean Mama, and Fly Lady. Fly Lady was eons ago, but kind of rediscovered Fly Lady's cleaning routines, and right now I think it fits best for me because of the weekly home blessing that happens like Mondays. And it's kind of once and your house is fairly clean because you hit all the major tasks on one day. What I'm finding is Monday, Tuesday, I'm motivated. Wednesday is kind of like sketchy. And Thursday and Friday, I'm like, nope. So I think doing it that way is going to work for me. So that's kind of where I am right now. Plan for Productivity had a kind of monthly review set of questions, which I wrote down because I thought they were good, just in case I wanted to use them. And then here was my 2022 planner ideas. While I was on vacation, I was kind of sketching these out. It always happens when I leave the house that I write down how I want to use planners, what changes I want to make, and then I realize the things that I would like to use are at home. So it gets very frustrating the last couple of days. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home because I want to go home and like switch out and, you know, implement the new planner ideas that I have. So I was trying to figure out, originally I was going to use the Stylogy and that was it. So my thought being that I would have obviously my 2022 goals and tip in and word of the year like I did for 2020. The future log is a month on one page, which was this section here, whoops, which I really liked. And then the 2022 year at a glance tip in, which I think I had one for 2020. I thought I did. Somewhere in here. I thought I had a tip in that was just kind of like the whole year at one go, but I guess not. Maybe I didn't. And then the months would be set up with the page that had just kind of like something here, a vinyl, a vellum, and then the tip in, and then the monthly review page and spread at the very end of the month. And then the weeks would have a weekly overview, that page that had the to-do, menu, and tracker, Monday through Sunday pages, and then the weekly review page and spread. And I was kind of going back and forth if I wanted 1 or 2 pages per day. So that was how I was going to be setting this up, because I did like how it was set up. But then, yeah, I kind of got some other ideas. So this was what I was toying with. Originally I was thinking I was going to use an A6 for my prayer journal and faith planner, but I think actually I'm just going to use this B6 book, because that's all I really need. And it tucks in here nicely back in the back. I'm using my weeks as an everyday carry and kind of weekly planning. This is nice because I can just quickly flip forward and write down what's going on. It doesn't have to be pretty. And it helps when I'm trying to set appointments and things like that. And then potentially doing some rapid logging in the back. I did get a mega just in case, but I don't think I'm actually going to be doing rapid logging in my weeks, because I will probably be doing something like that in the A5 Stylogy. Daily pages and notes and brainstorming will probably go into that A5. And then the A6 I'm going to be using as a work planner. So essentially the A5 Stylogy is going to be basically a goals planner and like daily planning, and then a weekly layout. A6 will be my work planner because I just basically need a page per day to put notes in. And then the weeks just to have with me so I know kind of what's going on when I'm out of the house. And then the Stylogy is going to end up just being for journaling and things like that, because I will probably use it for morning pages and potentially at the end of the day that those 4 journaling questions. We'll see. It'll either be there or it'll be in the A5. I did have a list of things that I potentially wanted to have as a collection and where it would end up going. So in my weeks, shopping list, wish list, gift ideas, taxes tracker. So any deductions that I need to make a note of, so I have it for tax time next time. Long-term package tracker. I don't usually track things that everything that I've ordered, just stuff that's like 1 to, several months before I'm going to receive it, just so I don't forget that it's on the way. And then in my Stylogy or in my Hobonichi, probably in the Stylogy, I'll have trip ideas, books to read, although this may go in the weeks, the books to read and upcoming ebooks, because there's books that are coming that I want to read, but they're not out yet. Video and blog ideas will probably actually also be in the weeks, just because I think of that stuff when I'm away from the house. The monthly tending list, I haven't decided where that will be. It might be in the weeks. But I am using the A5 as a goal planner, so that might be a better spot for it. I have not decided yet. And then I do have budget pages in the weeks. I actually don't know if I have it listed or not, but I have a budget printable in my Etsy store. And let's see if I can I'll probably just have to blur this out. Mine I actually had filled in, obviously this is from the beginning of the year, but mine I had filled in all of the different descriptions. I think the one on my Etsy store is blank, but I just printed it on sticker paper and stuck it in the back of the week, so I had it. Yeah, so I had made a note the Hobonichi Weeks I would have the week's goals and deadlines, and then tasks planned and emergent, and then I was going to try December work planning in the A5. I ended up doing that in the A6, and that worked out really well. So that's kind of where I am, and kind of a sneak peek of where I'm going to be for 2022. And I will actually probably do, once I get everything finalized, a planner flip through of what I'm doing for 2022, so you know what to kind of expect. Here I was just swatching some of the Tombow markers that I wanted to potentially use. I'd gotten some Hobonichi, I think they were the sign pens that were the brush tip, and then just some other colors, just checking to see, because I have like some various reds and burgundies and things like that. Trying to see what went through, like this actually started to go through, and yeah, so mild liners, things like that. So that is kind of where I am. These are the two that I was using toward the end of the year, and then the Hobonichis, which I'll probably, when I do the 2022 planner lineup, I will probably kind of flip through the tail end of those. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I am trying to keep these a little shorter. I just checked, I've been talking for 28 minutes, so evidently I'm not always succeeding, but maybe when I edit this down, it'll be a little bit shorter. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like. If you are not already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!